week, the Bethel Bruins and the Phoebus Phantoms. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium for tonight's game between the Bethel Bruins with a 1-3 record overall and the Phoebus Phantoms undefeated at 4-0. And Bob, this game has the makings of a mismatch because the Bruins have played very sporadically, quite frankly, and have been unable to generate some sustained offense, while the Phantoms are number one in both offense and defense coming into this game.
Yeah, it really is, Tim. But I tell you that what's really hurt the Bruins more than anything else has been their consistency. If anything is consistent, it's their inconsistency. And the coach was talking that the kids are listening to other people, not listening to the coaches, saying this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to this particular situation calls for. The coach is right. The kids are just not making the right adjustment. So I think that if they can stop that and be more consistent and listen to the coaches, I think we might have a pretty good ball game tonight.
You and I talked about the positives and the negatives. When you're winning, everything is good. No one's giving you advice.
Thank you.
When you're losing, everybody is an expert, and they all want to tell you what you're doing wrong and how to fix it. And the kids get caught up in this, and it's very infectious. And the players, as a result of it, it affects them tremendously. But let's talk about the specifics here. You got the Bethel Bruins 1-3. They won that one game narrowly. What do they have to do tonight to beat this Phoebus team?
Well, first of all, they're going to have to get the ball and control the ball. They're going to have to keep the offense off the field, because once Phoebus gets the ball, they will march that ball down the field and they will score and they will eat up a lot of clock. So what the Bruins have got to do, Tim, is that they got to get the ball. They've got to make the first downs. They got to be third and short, not third and long, not a passing situation. Last week we saw Chaz Batchelor come in off the bench at fullback and just really look good running the ball. They're going to have to get a lot of that. Bates is a good young man that can run from the tailback's position. So these are the things that the Bruins are going to have to do. Their defense is going to have to step up, hopefully make the Phantoms 3 and out. No team has done that very well this year. But, you know, this is always a good game between Bethel and the Phantoms.
Well, and let's hope that it is tonight. And, again, the Bruins, in my opinion, have played fairly well on defense. They just can't be on the field all the time. And the other side of that coin is they have to get some constant offense. And that's what they haven't been able to do, is to mix up the running game along with the passing game. They've been inconsistent with the passing game, and that's where they really need help. They needed LaShawn Campbell to have a good game passing and therefore take the pressure off of the running game a little bit.
Well, and speaking of LaShawn Campbell, I found out his dad is Rodney Campbell, young man who played basketball for me over at Bethel, good athlete. Young man, give him some time to throw the ball. He's very, very accurate. So these are some of the things that the Bruins are going to have to do tonight.
Well, let's go back in time right now. Bob had a chance a little earlier to talk with head coach Tracy Parker of the Bethel Bruins.
Well, first of all, Coach, tough loss last week to Hampton in the ball game, minute to go in the game, and then blown coverage.
Yeah,
at the half. I'm sorry.
Right at the half. You know, we were in it. We had a chance to make a big play there, and I guess our youth and enthusiasm showed again. We checked out of the coverage, and a good football team takes advantage of those things.
Well, I know that I talked to you earlier in the week. You tell me, instead of, even though you had the loss, good practices.
Oh, definitely. This was probably one of our better weeks of practice, and hopefully it'll pay off tonight.
Well, I know every time Phoebus plays Bethel, it is a close game. I don't care what the records are, the game is always close.
Well, traditionally in the past it has been that way. And, we're going to try to keep it close and have an opportunity in the end to win the ball game.
All right, I want to ask you, is everybody healthy on your team?
Well, we're probably as healthy as we have ever been. We have all of our players dressed out tonight, so hopefully we'll have a good performance.
And I know one other thing you told me, listen to the coaches.
That's right. When you're young, it's important that you listen.
There you go. Listen, good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to Tim.
All right, we appreciate Mr. Parker, the coach at Bethel, for letting us have that interview before tonight's game. The Bruins, number 9 on offense, and 9 on offense, number 5 on defense, and they've just got to get more consistency from their offense in order to keep Phoebus off the field, because Phoebus can score on you pretty quickly.
Now, I tell you, you got to look at the Phantoms, the number one offense, number one on defense there. And I talked to Bill. He is just so excited about that offensive line. A Robinson kid coming up off the JVs is his center. He's got the young man Bowles and Little Bowles and King that played last year, and then Little and Chetney, the other that rounds out the front five. Then you got two tight ends. The Robinson kid, the young man who was a freshman, Matt Wright, is just a freshman playing real good. Can't keep him off field. They'll run a lot of double tight ends tonight because they run the ball well, block well, and they just love the way Adibi is blocking from that fullback position. I mean, he runs the ball well, but I tell you, if you're going to follow somebody through the line, that's who you want to follow.
Well, when you're number one on offense with almost 400 yards a game, you're number one on defense with 119 yards a game, you're averaging 40 points a game plus, things are good in Phoebus land. It's hard to find things that aren't working well for you, and that's what's happening right now. The Phoebus Phantoms, of course, the reigning state champions, are doing it on both sides of the ball and doing it well. And, again, the Bruins will have their hands full tonight. Bob had a chance a little earlier to discuss some of tonight's goings-on with head coach Bill D of the Phoebus Phantoms. So let's go back in time right now for that interview.
Well, first of all, Coach, congratulations. Going in undefeated, your kids are doing and responding to what you want them to do. But when you and I talked, you told me something about DJ at quarterback, the respect that he gets.
Yeah, he's a highly respected kid. I mean, he's taken over, the quarterback position from Whiteout last year. Even last year, he caught a lot of clutch passes for us last year. And I thought, he was really overlooked by a lot of people, and he came up with a lot of big plays. But DJ is a team player, and I think the biggest thing is the kids respect him so much, and he's a leader in that huddle. And I think that's been a big plus for our offense this year.
Well, it has to be when a kid who is not really a quarterback like Ronnie Hendricks, you said he was a quarterback, but DJ stepped in and done a good job. But he's got a tremendous support group.
Well, I guess I don't want to say that DJ's not a quarterback, different kind of quarterback. Right. Ronnie had that golden arm, and DJ throws a good football. He's more of an option quarterback, and that fits well into our scheme. I just think the big thing is when he's in the huddle, he demands respect, and the kids listen to him. And he keeps everything under control, and he's a leader, and that's what you need at that position.
One other thing I want to ask you before we finish this up: your front five on offense. You're real proud of those young men.
Yeah, they've come a long way. We had two of those guys back with Quest King and Jason Bowles, and the other kids, the Robinson and Little and Chetney, and we have Matt Wright and Darnell Allen, a tight end. Because we get our tight ends, they think they're receivers, but they're just another blocker. We throw them once in a while. But they've all done a really good job, and we haven't missed a beat with our running game. If anything, our running game is, at this point, might be a little better than it was last year. So we're real proud. I mean, you don't run the ball without those guys doing the job up front.
That's true. You got to open up the holes. Well, you guys are always real prepared when you're coming into a game tonight. Look for them to be ready for anything that Bethel throws.
Yeah, it's always a tough game. It was a nail biter at the end last year. We got off fast and they came back, and I don't know, just we've had double overtimes and all sorts of stuff. So I think inner city rivals are a big thing, and these kids know each other. So hopefully, I don't want it to be that close. Hopefully we'll play well.
Well, good. Listen, good luck tonight. And we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Good enough. Let's go back up to Tim and tonight's starting lineups.
All right. Well, Bill D, as you see the commercials tonight, the sponsors are brought to you by Zooms, your friendly neighborhood store with 14 convenient locations to serve you. Game is also brought to you by Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard, 838-5450. By Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling. Give them a call at 825-1416 or 850-5564. And in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at the Hampton Center Parkway at Armstead Avenue in Hampton. Call them at 827-4670. And back here at Darling Stadium, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz, as both of the teams have made it onto the sidelines. And we will be on momentarily having the toss of the coin at the center of the field. Okay. So, Bob, this is the prelude to what we perceive to be the game of the year, which will be next Friday night. Phoebus could be guilty of looking ahead here since they have that Hampton game coming up. They got to be careful.
Well, you know, that's some of the things that the coaches worry about is that the kids start looking ahead to the next game. But you know, as a coach, you want the kids to focus on this game. And this is one thing I like about Bill D and his staff. He's had his staff with him a long time. And when you have a staff that's been with you that long, yet there's certain things that you don't have to communicate that the kids know. But the one thing that the Phantoms do that I didn't realize, but they lift during the season. They lift weights during the season, and they'll lift at least 2 times during the week. And the man in charge, or the guru in the weight room, is Greg Day. And this young man, I tell you, he makes sure that they do what they're supposed to do, and they're ready to go.
All right, let's go down to the field as we have the toss of the coin and the ceremonies. Let's listen in as Charlie Davison will tell us about tonight's contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's officials are the referee, Charlie Davidson. Our umpire is Dan Klemenchik. The linesman is Alan Denton. Line judge is Bill Allen. Our field judge this evening is Tom Chisholm. And the back judge is John Patrick.
Before you make up your mind, if you don't understand it, ask me. I'll repeat it again. Once you give me your option, that's what we have to go with. Also, you are the captains of your team. We will come to you if we need your help in sportsmanship areas. Please take care of it. You don't want us to have to take care of it. Okay, we did this earlier. We flipped the coin. You called tails, it was heads. You won the toss. You deferred. You elected to receive. You said you wanted to kick that way, so put your backs over there. Over here. Phoebus won the toss.
The Phantoms have won the toss, and it appears they will defer.
Oh!
We'll receive.
And so let's tell you right now who the officials are for tonight's contest as you see them in the middle of your picture. And again, 3rd week in a row, Charlie Davidson is our referee. Dan Klemenchik is the umpire. The linesman is Alan Denton. Bill Allen is your line judge. The field judge is John Patrick, and Tom Chisholm is the back judge for tonight's contest.
This is Mick McCooley's crew, but Mick is not here because his son's getting married.
All right, we're going to show you right now the offense for the Bethel Bruins for tonight's contest.
A.J. Harris, offensive line, junior.
Robert Bugger, 12th grade. Ryan Totten, I'm an offensive tackle. Mike Leto, I'm a senior. Khalil Sharif, a senior. Robert Lewis, 12th grade. Chaz Bachelor, a junior.
My name is Derek Bates. I'm in 11th grade. And LaShawn Campbell, and I'm a junior.
And there you have the Bethel Bruins offensive starters for tonight's game. We'll give you the defense for the Phantoms in just a moment. And in fact, we'll do that right now.
Anthony Robinson, Jr. Wes King, Senior. Xavier Deeby, Senior.
Quincy McCright, Sophomore.
Emmanuel Anderson, Senior.
Darnell Allen, Senior.
Travis Richmond, Senior.
Brandon Seminario, Senior.
Phillip Brown, Senior.
DJ Parker, Senior.
Janason Jenkins, Senior.
All right, so we have the kickoff, and the return is out to about the 28-yard line, where the Bruins will have it 1st and 10.
Tim, we will pick a player of the game tonight for both of these teams, and that player will receive a trophy and a shirt. The trophy comes from Trophy World, incorporated and located in the historic Hilton Village in Newport News. For all your recognition and awards needs, trophies, plaques, custom engraving, contact Bob Hilling at Trophy World, 595-7354.
What's that number again?
595-7354. If you mention this, they'll give you special pricing, and I'll tell you about where the shirt comes from in just a second.
All right. For the Bruins, they will start in the shotgun as Campbell takes the snap, rolls to the near side, feels some pressure, and is still on his feet. Now finally is swarmed over at about the 17-yard line.
And the shirt comes from Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, and uniforms and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to Dave Chubb or Terry McNamara.
Substantial loss on the play, 9 yards. Swing pass left side, got some running room, and just about got by DJ Parker. Now a late flag comes flying in as the reception was made by Robert Lewis, but a penalty flag on the play.
And you see the philosophy tonight is not only are we going to come out in the shotgun, but we're not going to huddle. We're going to try to catch the Phantoms asleep, but we have a holding?
Holding call.
Oh,
yep.
Man, that hurts you right off. Those are the kind of mistakes that the coach will get grabbed, because that was a very good gain for them on that. It's like a wide split-out flanker screen, and stayed in that. They're coming right back out, not even going to huddle.
Referee Davidson will tell us.
A holding call will back the Bruins up.
I hope
So-
Charlie's coming through. I didn't hear him. Did
No,
you?
I understand the gentlemen in the truck have indicated we're not hearing him. So
Maybe the mic is not on.
second down and 20. Over the middle, the pass is complete.
Oh, wow.
To the big tight end coming across the middle. That is Chris Ellis.
Chris was hit, Tim, but he kept right on trucking.
Well, watch this. This is a great job by Chris Ellis to hold on to that ball. He just bounced like a pinball off of the defender. Third down and 9. Near side as the Bruins come out throwing. This is Lewis, and he is grabbed by the ankle as he gets to the 32-yard line on a good open field tackle by Manny Anderson, and that prevented what might have been a first down.
I tell you, Tim, what I can see what the Bruins are trying to do is not let the quarterback, the quarterback doesn't have to take the snap from center and go back. He's got time to look over and pass it quick before the rush can get to him. Looks like they're lining them up to block it. I got 10 men on the line of scrimmage.
Pickrell stands at his 20. Just one man back is Anderson. They're coming. He did get it away, a little bit of contact, but no penalty flag. But the ball will not go particularly far as it will be lined up and ruled to be out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So that will be where the Phantoms will have it. Let's show you the offense for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Anthony Robinson, Jr. Xavier Little, Jr. Wes King, Senior.
Justin Chetney, senior.
Jason Bowles, Senior. Matt Wright, Freshman. Corey Blunt, Jr. Phillip Brown, Senior.
DJ Parker, senior.
Xavier Deeby, Senior.
Eden Lewis, sophomore.
And back to the live action as the Phantoms take the first play from scrimmage and go 10 yards.
I hope we have that on replay, because I tell you, Lewis did a great job to make 2 or 3 people miss on a tackle. Watch the way he cuts, Tim. Right there, made a nice move, outran one there. Just did a great job, just a sophomore.
But what a hole he had to run through. That offensive line really gave him some running path. And he'll try the right side, and they'll do the same thing, and he'll score. He's gone. They won't get him. Elan Lewis.
And that's from, what, about
47 yards.
47 yards. Oh, wow. You talk about hitting quick. See, there he is right there. Just a sophomore, Tim.
So real quickly, the Phantoms jump on top by 6-0. Jason Mickle will try the extra point. It's long enough, and it is good. So just 2 plays, a 10-yard run by Lewis, and then a 47-yard run by Lewis as he picks up 57 yards the first 2 times he touches the ball. And it's 7-0. The Phantoms, 9:42 left in the first period.
Let me tell you what the coaches think of Elan Lewis. Great talent, strong focus. Has averaged over 100 yards a game this season. Watch him right here. Just pops right through and makes a nice cutback. But this young man, Tim, plays tailback, but when Boone comes in a tailback, he moves to fullback and is a great blocker. And Coach D says, isn't it great to have a tailback that can block good?
Amen. So the Phoebus fans barely got settled into their seats here, and their team is on top 7-0 after just 2 plays.
The young man is kicking off, Chris Schwartz. He's their long field goal kicker in the JV contest. First game of the season this year for JVs. Kicked a 45-yarder. So he's doing the kicking off chores.
Derek Bates on the return.
Great coverage on your special teams.
Now the Phantoms do it all as they pin him in and keep him from going past the 22-yard line. Just a 10-yard return on the kickoff. 44-yard kick. I got hand signals coming from Bob and
got all kinds of things coming at you.
Yeah, some of them are using hand signals I'm very familiar with, and then others.
Yeah, well, those you usually see when you're driving.
Showed some of their ethnicity there. The Bruins, second possession of the ball game, and they are going to be backwards on the yardage stat for this one as they don't get back to the line of scrimmage. Xavier Adibi, among others, there to stop the ball carrier at the 19-yard line, a loss of 3.
Tim, that didn't even look good. The timing looked a little bit off in the backfield that time.
Well, you know what we were talking about is when you get behind this quickly, you've got to be very careful you don't get reeled down. There's so much ball game left. The Bruins have got to keep their head about them.
Yeah, don't change your game plan yet.
No, heavens no. Campbell rolling, looking, has plenty of time, and now finds a receiver. Did he catch it? No, they say it was a one-hopper as Chris Ellis, again, was the intended receiver.
And, Tim, he was open and had his first down yardage, which was he just hooked to that spot.
Well, watch the replay here. You're going to see Campbell, again, going from the shotgun, and he will have good time to pass for 2 reasons. One, being in the shotgun, he's not going to have to drop back. And secondly, as he rolls to his left, he makes some time for himself. He's got time. He squares his shoulders pretty well, just underthrew the ball a little bit. Third down and 13 at the 19-yard line. Now Campbell will apparently go under center. Looks over the defense. Got trips to the left. And now we've got contact. Whether or not the player was pulled off will be the only question. Clearly, contact was made.
I think that the defender moved because the quarterback stood up to change the play or something, and all he looked for was movement. And then, boom, he went across there.
Tracy Parker put that play in as one of the regulars if it worked that well each time. Yeah, of course, the quarterback, you know, he can do that. He can check off, he can move, he can do whatever he wants to. He can move into the shotgun.
Right, he can stand up and move back into the shotgun. You're absolutely right.
This time
different formation.
He will line up in the shotgun with third down and 8. Campbell, and he throws it out for Lewis, and it's just well off the mark. Lewis well covered on the play. Over on that far side, Brandon Seminario was all over Robert Lewis, so he really would not have had a chance to catch the ball if it had been on target.
Well, Bill D is real tickled with the secondary. He says the best secondary they've ever had in Phoebus with Parker, Brown, and Jenkins. They have a lot of experience in that secondary.
Bickrell will be on to punt for the second time. His last effort was just 27 yards. This is a fake. A direct snap to Lewis, and he throws the flag down very close to the first down, but a penalty flag down, so we'll have to see how this goes.
Oh, illegal, a man downfield. Number 77 was way downfield, way sooner than he should have been.
And that is the initial indication from referee Davidson. It will be ineligible downfield.
Well, you just declined the penalty.
Well, exactly. If they didn't get the first down, you just take the ball if you're Phoebus. Exactly. They did not get the first down, so Phoebus takes over at the Bruin 31-yard line.
We get a chance, we'll show you the Bruins on defense. We haven't had a chance to do that yet.
And this would be a good time since they are on defense. We'll show them to you when we get an opportunity here.
Catch our crew a little off guard there. We thought it was going to be a punt.
We like to do that.
Yeah, a good shot of Greg Day, the one that's goes to the same barber you go to.
I can see he works out too, like I do.
Yes, he does.
He does, but I don't. That's the difference.
Oh. Well, now, I wouldn't have said that.
Lewis.
I think it was.
All right. That was a DB on the ball.
Deshaun Chester, and I'm in the 11th grade.
Thomas Turner, grade 12.
Chris Ellis, defensive end.
Mike Leto, I'm a senior.
My name is Elmo Robinson, 11th grade.
Joe Notestein, I'm a senior.
Wilshire Scott, 11th grade.
Philip Gardner in the 12th grade.
Jamar Jackson, a sophomore.
Fred Hill, I'm in the 12th grade.
Rashad Everett, I'm a junior.
And as we come back to the live action, the ball carrier is Lewis. Elon Lewis picks up a couple of yards. They'll mark him at the 24-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 3 for the Phantoms. Again,
well, we have a little bit of wind. If it, at all, it's moving
right to left.
Right to left.
And this is Lewis. He broke one tackle and picks up the 1st down as he gets to the 20-yard line. So they had him initially.
Does he look a little bit like Travis McWright from last year or what? I mean, they look like clones, don't they?
Yeah, great lead block by Adibi to get the 1st down, or at least assist on the 1st down as Lewis carries.
Well, I had talked about that earlier about how good a blocker Adibi is, and if you're going to follow somebody through the line of scrimmage, that's the guy you want to look at.
This time, Adibi gets the handoff. And he'll pick up about 3 yards down to the 17-yard line. So it brings up 2nd down and 7.
Thomas Turner, number 65, on the stop that time.
Zooms with 14 convenient Peninsula locations. I had to have me a holdover hot dog before we started the game, Bob, but I am headed for Zooms right after we leave here.
Well, fill it up with that Citgo gas.
Well, no, I'm not going to do that, but I'll eat some pizza. Ball batted down. It goes incomplete.
I tell you, they've got it all. Not only that pizza, but they got some fried chicken, potato wedges, and you can always pick up your box and 1 donuts. And Mike Hauser loves that because he knows that you're going to pick that one. You're going to have them for tomorrow for breakfast. So we got a timeout. I want to talk about our crew a little bit.
Wait, you're always talking about our crew.
Well, when we get a chance, we'll talk about the crew. Listen, in fact, let's go down to the truck. We got director Scotty Bowers, graphics Andy Foley, audio Mike Nowinski, engineer Don Chiraus, instant replay Andre Mattingly. And there you see them. That's the back of their heads.
Their best view, I might add.
Best view. And then on the cameras, Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron ESPN Baton, John Moore, Brian Rutledge, and Lakeisha Porter all down on staff. Good shot from the truck. I tell you, we just got more things going on we can shake a stick at.
All right, I thought it was daylight all of a sudden here. But no, Mike said we were in a break, so he turned the light on.
Well, and that's good.
He's a good man, Mr. Hauser. I tell you, he's worth everything we pay him.
What's he get?
Nothing.
No, he's got to get something. He's got to get something.
All right, timeout over with. 3rd and 7 for the Phantoms. There's 6:34 remaining here in the first period. 7-0 Phantoms trying to add to that lead as they are taking on this Bethel Bruin team. Play action fake DJ Parker to a man covered in the end zone. That was a DB, and he was double covered, and the Bruins had that one pretty well read.
Yeah, number 3 for the Bruins, Fred Hill, was up there with the DB. DB went up, didn't quite get it. We might see a field goal attempt here.
Here's the replay of the last action. And there you see DB was in position to catch it. He's pretty tall. DB is 6'3", but it was batted away nicely by the defenders.
Well, this is Mickle, and this is what, a 35-yarder?
This will be actually from the 24, make it a 34.
Oh, I'd give him that extra half yard.
Well, you might have to. I'm not sure how they officially do that. If it's a little more than the 24. It's got the distance, and it's good.
I tell you, if you got kickers to go with your runners and scores, it's really nice.
Well, you know, what comes to mind in those situations, too, is you don't know when later on in the season you might be in a game where you really need just a field goal. You know, in the playoffs, if you get to that point, I don't want to put the Phantoms in the playoffs yet. They've got to earn it. But I'm just saying, you know, these are the type of things that if you can get that experience now, you have a confidence builder so that if they get in a situation where they need a field goal in a crucial game, then they've got it.
You got that right. And we want to welcome back Hampton Chevrolet as one of our corporate sponsors. They're located at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard. Give them a call at 838-5450 or go down and see them.
Yeah,
they got some great new cars, used cars. Go down and give them a look.
All right, the Phantoms will kick it off again. This will be taken by Bates at about the 13. They're going to fake the end around. And he will be dragged down about the same spot he was the last time they kicked off. And Terrence Bellamy in on the tackle.
Well, I tell you what, I was watching Terrence, and he kept fighting off the blocker, made the runner make a decision. If he'd have cut inside, he had help. If he went outside, he was going to make the stop, and he did at the 21-yard line. Great job that time.
All right, the Bruins will start from their 21-yard line, trailing 10-0. Campbell will get under center. He gives to Bates.
Oh, he couldn't get away from the hand of a DB. I mean, he ran into DB and he just, whop, I got you, baby.
And he threw him for a 1-yard loss. So the Bruins, the only thing that's really looked good for them so far is the passing game. They've had a little bit of success, but some penalties have hurt them.
Oh, yeah, that first penalty really hurt him. Watch this. He grabbed a hold of him and wasn't going to let go.
So a loss of a yard, second down and 11. Double wides to the far side. There you see them just at the top of your screen in the right-hand corner, out of the I formation. Campbell now checks off. And he'll give to Bates. This is Derek Bates, and he is to about the 24-yard line, where, once again, Bellamy in on the stop.
Well, had his ankles was Xavier Deavy tripped him up, and then Bellamy just finished him off right here. Watch this. Bruins just can't get anything going. They had a great move on that first series they had the ball, but the penalty just killed them.
Third down and 6. Campbell, short drop, throws. He's got Lewis, but Lewis had the ball thrown behind him, and he tried to adjust, but it just wasn't something he had enough time to do. So Campbell kind of rushed his pass that time again. Watch it, you'll see what I'm speaking of here.
Well, Tim,
Lewis was still going downfield and then realized the ball had already been thrown.
All fairness to Mr. Campbell, he didn't have a whole lot of time. He's got to get rid of that ball a little sooner than he wanted to. And when that happens, the timing's a little bit off. Whoa!
Almost blocked and takes a Bethel bounce.
That's right is one, I think, in it. Yeah.
So it got to the Phantom side of midfield at the 49. It looked like for a moment it would not work out that well, but it does, in fact, get to the 49-yard line.
That was Quincy McWright that was flying through there, Tim, and he didn't miss that more than a few inches.
Just a 26-yard punt. And he's been pretty consistent. The previous one was 27 yards, and it was basically the same type of deal. He's kicking it to his left, trying to keep it away from the return.
Well, and it's also into the wind.
All right. Yep. 4:32 remaining in the first period. Phantoms leading 10-0. And they almost broke that one as the ball carrier gets all the way down to the 35-yard line.
And that looked like Boone.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is Boone.
Maurice Boone, number 4.
Maurice played a lot as a sophomore.
Here's your replay.
He's a senior this year, but I tell you, when he's in there running tailback, you've got Lewis at fullback making the blocks for you, and he almost broke that, as you saw in the replay.
Bruins in the first period, 16 yards on offense and yet to have their first down. Penalties have hurt them, and then now they've just bogged down. Now the Phantoms on the other side have been pretty consistent. This is Boone again. And he's got great running room and dodges the tackler. And if he can maintain his balance, he'll be stopped short of the goal line. Just, Chris Ellis said, not on my watch. I'm going to catch it. Chris Ellis is a whole lot bigger than Boone.
Well, and Boone, all fairness to him, I don't know how he kept his balance.
He did a great job, as you'll watch the replay
and
here.
And the lead blocker,
yep.
Elon Lewis.
Right there, got a hand on him, and he tripped him. And he just did a good job of maintaining his balance, but it slowed him down enough so that a pretty quick Chris Ellis could get him from behind and at least make the Phantoms go the extra yard here to get the touchdown if in fact they do. It is 1st and goal at the 1. And this is Boone, and Chris Ellis has him again for a loss on the play. So it's the Boone and Ellis show right now.
Yeah, I tell you, they're trying to run over that side of that's the left side defensively for the Phantoms. And actually, Chris Ellis, they got him as tackle. They run 2 guards, 2 tackles, 2 inside backers, 2 outside backers. But the tackles really are defensive ends. And Ellis is just letting anybody say, it's on my watch. You're not getting through. As we see part of the crew tonight, or part of the fans tonight.
Enjoying the popcorn and a beautiful
and
warm
night. And
night.
a good shot of the back of heads. That's the best shot. That's a good shot.
Those guys are working in there.
Yeah, they can't be turning around looking at us.
Can't look every time we put them on. So it's 2nd down and goal. Ball moved out to the 3 after the 2-yard loss. And this time he is in for the score.
Well, that looked like a fullback. It is.
It's a DB. And he's shaken up on the play.
No, I think he's just saying thanks.
Okay, well, hopefully that's what he was doing, because he got up and then went to a knee. So a DB.
Phyllis Henry to your left there is the principal over at Phoebus High School, and that's some of the assistant principals on her side there.
Kick out of Lester James' hole is up, and it is good.
The kicker got leveled, but there was no flag.
And there you see a good picture of Xavier Adibi, the younger brother of Nathaniel Adibi, who plays for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, by the way,
they're off this week.
They're off this week. They play next Thursday night against
and
Boston
they're on
College.
TV.
Yes, they are. I love them on TV. Wife and I get all situated with our popcorn and get all excited about it. And then we tape the game and send it to Colin because he's out in Alaska, and it's a hard way to get.
Yeah.
They don't pick up a lot of the games out there, although he may be able to get the ESPN game. They're just now moving into electric power where he's living in Alaska. So start the generator up, crank it up, and hope you can get ESPN.
There you go. Well, just, get the dog sled, get the dogs out there, get them in a little wheel, and just let them start running.
There's an idea. He did. He sent me some pictures from inside the Arctic Circle where he was about a month ago. All kinds of snow and ice, and he says there's a sauna there. He was up there. The lake,
sauna?
Yeah, this Lake Tulik. And he was there where there's a sauna, and they run from the sauna, from the snow to the sauna, and then back into the cold water of this lake. Oh, yeah. He said it will definitely wake you up.
Oh, you wake you up, give you a jump start.
Kill me.
Man.
All right, the Phantoms, something we've seen a lot of so far in the first half. This will be the 4th time they've kicked off, or 5th time now. And this is taken by Bates at the 10. And this time he does give to Lewis. Lewis trying to get some running room. And then the ball comes loose. And who got it?
Well, it went out of bounds.
Out of bounds. So the Bruins catch a break. And again, they'll start from the 22-yard line. They are in a rut. They've started from the 22 twice and the 21 another time.
You're trying to tell me that their average starting position has not been real good tonight.
No, not a 12-yard return. And
lucky he didn't get caught there.
Well, it was certainly through no lack of effort on the part of Robert Lewis. He was determined to try and get some yardage. He got 12, and it's 1st down at the 22. The Bruins in desperate need of some offense. Quick pitch.
Boy, Deavy was right there in the backfield and forced the runner to cut up, and they lost. Who was at 35?
That was Ladarius Adams, who got a bullet toss. The ball was, just flung, if there is such a word, to him, and he just had no choice but to catch it. One of our younger fans.
Right here, you can see the replay.
Bethel now a -11 rushing in the contest with 2:04 remaining in the first period. Phoebus 17, Bethel nothing. The pitch to Adams. Adams has some running room and just got a hand on him. That was Manny Anderson, or we don't know whether Adams might have gone or not.
Well, I tell you, it would have been close.
He had a head of steam, and Manny Anderson just got a hand on his ankle. Watch this as he got to the hole, and Manny, there was one man downfield. He might have had the ankle on him, but we'll never know.
Well, I tell you, that's their initial first down, but Manny Anderson has a nose for the ball. The coaches like him. He's a super hitter, and the rest of those okay,
that's what I
Scotty.
need. Out of the shotgun, Campbell. Minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Long count. Near side pass to Lewis. Lewis tries to get by the man. He does. Nice job of faking out the defender. And then he's tossed out of bounds. But again, another first down at the 49-yard line. So the pass has worked for the Bruins much better than the run has so far. Watch this replay from the shotgun. You're going to see Lewis. He goes a yard downfield and steps back and done a real nice job of faking out the defender. I won't name the defender. We don't want to embarrass him. It happens to all of us, but that was a great move by Lewis to get away from the tackler. First down at the 49. Campbell out of the wishbone this time in the shotgun. And this time the handoff is to Batchelor.
Well, he's not an easy guy to bring down.
Well, we saw that last week. Batchelor gave Hampton fits when they tried to tackle him. He just bounced off of them consistently. But this time the Phantoms hold him to just a 2-yard gain.
Well, he shook off a couple of tacklers to get to the 2-yard gain.
Here you'll see the replay. Just the
right there's one.
The handoff. He shrugs.
There's two, and he keeps right on going.
Yeah, he's a tough runner. There's no question about that. Second down and 8. Less than a minute remaining in the first quarter. Out of the I formation, double wides to the left. And this is a keeper by Campbell. Don't know whether that was a design play or not. It looked like he really tried to hand it off. But if he didn't, it was a good fake.
Pick up a couple of yards, but I tell you.
Just got one.
We got an official's timeout.
So gain of a yard to the 48-yard line. It brings up third down and 7 for the Bruins. Desperately in need of a sustained drive here. They've gotten their first 2 first downs of the ball game on this drive. And really need, there you see the scoreboard with the score 17-0 and just 22 seconds remaining. And they restart the clock now because it had been stopped for an official's timeout. Now the officials will stop the clock again. And this will, in fact, be a timeout called by the Bruins.
And is that their first one for the?
I believe that is the first one they've called.
Yeah, we have a couple of timeouts. I think the Phantoms called. Yes, the Phantoms called out one.
Well, they you see some of the crew there working.
I tell you, ESPN Baton needs all the help he can get down there, and he's getting good help. A good shot of Scotty, beam me up Bowers. He's getting ready. Look, he's got his hand on it, getting ready to beam us up. No, don't beam us down. There you go. We're fine up here. I tell you, Phantoms are doing what they want to do, Tim. They're running the ball, and they're running the ball well. But I tell you, when you got Boone and Lewis back there, both of them are breakaway runners. That's hard to stop.
Well, and the Phantoms haven't had to pass the ball yet because the running game is working so effectively. I wouldn't be surprised to see them try the pass, but DJ Parker has no real reason to do that as long as the running game is working as well as it is.
I think they had tried a pass or two. I think one was knocked down, but you're right. They don't need it. All right.
Back to the live action now with 16 seconds remaining in the quarter. And the Phantoms in the neutral zone. That'll cost them 5 if they weren't drawn off.
No, there were 2 of them. They're trying to get to the back quick, and that was number 21 for the Bruins up there. Jenkins was he was coming from his cornerback position, going to come in, and then one of the linebackers on the other side But they're ready to go, but they're just a little too quick. And, Tracy May said, they're going to try to blitz us, so let's go on an odd count.
Well, if you recall in the Hampton game with Bethel last week, Darylyn Fenner just ate up the Bruins on that middle linebacker blitz. And I'm sure Bill D looked at that, and I'm surprised they haven't blitzed more frequently. But so far it's worked very well the way the Phantoms have worked the defense. Campbell throws and has a man open, and he caught it. Lewis.
Nice pass.
At the 13-yard line, goes out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
I'll tell you one thing that Campbell did that time is he put the ball where Lewis was going to be. I mean, Lewis hadn't even turned to look at the ball, and it's halfway there already.
Beautifully thrown by Campbell, and it is a 1st down at the Phantom 13-yard line.
I tell you, that to me is where the Bruins are going to excel tonight, is passing that ball and maybe loosening up that defense a little bit.
The Phantoms
open up the draw.
Phantoms have held 3 of their opponents scoreless in this young season. Only 1 team has scored against them. So this proud defensive unit does not want to give up a score here. They'll be hard pressed at the 13-yard line. Ball carrier is Derek Bates, and he gets down to about the 11. That'll be the final play of the first quarter. You watch Bates as he gets to the hole and is hit quickly after just a 1-yard gain. As the final play of the first period comes our way.
It's good to see that the Bruins haven't given up, that they're still working towards moving the ball down the field, and I think Tracy Parker's game plan is right for tonight, is to pass the ball out of the shotgun. Don't give that defense a chance to get in there and get down the throat of the quarterback.
A 29-yard pass completion sets up this 2nd down coming up for the Bruins after they change the position on the field. But again, we'll remind you, next Friday night, we will expect to see you here in person as the Phantoms and the Crabbers will hook up in what could be a battle of undefeateds. Hampton has to play Menchville this weekend, and of course the Bruins will try to put some points on the board and upset the Phantoms in this game. But if they should both win, Phoebus and Hampton would be undefeated and be 5-0 for next Friday night's game. This will be a big game, folks. You'll want to get your tickets early, and then we'll have it for you right here on Channel 46.
And you want to be here early, get a good seat, and get yourself on TV, because we will pan the audience.
Well, we've been known to pan a lot of things.
Pan for gold and whatever.
Just 5 yards rushing, 70 yards passing in the first quarter for the Bruins. And they run the ball this time, and this is Bates down to the 4, very close to a 1st down. He'll be short by about a yard. Bates to the 4. They need to get to the 3 for a 1st down. Watch the replay here. You'll see Derek Bates doing a real good job of keeping his legs moving.
Nice block by the fullback.
He almost broke that. So it's 3rd and 1 at the 4-yard line. Bates and Adams in the backfield. Double wides to the far side.
Tim, I don't look for him to pass the ball.
No,
I look for him to run her.
I agree. I need to be a quarterback keeper if we got
too much time. Oh, man, does that hurt?
Well, if you're Tracy Parker, you just have to bite your tongue. You're 3rd and 1 at the 4 with an opportunity to get back in this game, and you take too much time. So now it makes it 3rd and 6.
Now this makes you rethink that, not passing the thing.
It just kills you to have this kind of penalty. It's just a mental error, and I'm not going to say it's just on the team. It could have been the coaches that were slow to get the play in. I don't know, and I certainly don't want to indict anyone. But the point is, you can't afford these types of penalties.
Those hurt you, really hurt you.
So now 3rd and 6.
They got Bates at the fullback.
Pitch goes to Adams, and he loses the football. He gets it back, but now it'll be 4th down. The ball will be at the 15-yard line, and that was not a bad toss.
He was looking where he was going that time, which is a lot of people are are guilty of that, and we're talking at all levels, all the way up to the pros will do that.
Well, he was watching his lead blocker, who was Bates, and he was already deciding where he was going to go, and you got to put that ball away first.
We may see a field goal attempt.
Well, Pickerel is on the field. Spotted at about the 22-yard line, which would make it a 32-yard attempt.
Well, he did that going the other way into the wind, and was very successful during the pregame.
Be a 32-yarder if it's good. It's long enough, but it is wide left.
But I think the Bruins were one man short.
Let's count some heads here. We got 4.
No, there's 11.
Yep, they got 11. He just pulled it. So that phantom defense that does not want to give up a point in this game dodges the bullet, and they really have to thank the Bruins for some of that.
Oh, the 5-yard delay of game is, boy, that's going to haunt you.
Your 3rd and 1 at the 4, and then your 3rd and 6 at the 9. It's just a huge difference when you're playing a great defense like the Phantoms have. But if you're the Bruins, you've got to tighten up your belt and stay in this ball game. They've shown that they can move the ball. They just have to now play some good defense. Can't afford any more points. Flare pass, and the Bruins smelled that out beautifully as Philip Brown was on the receiving end of that pass. And the defense had it smelled out and was right there for a loss on the play. Philip Brown was the man in motion. That was actually a lateral.
Yeah.
But it didn't really matter. He held on to it. But had he fumbled that ball, it could have been a live ball. Or, mishandled it in any way. So the loss is back to the 16, almost the 17-yard line. Let's call it 2nd down and 13, along 13. DJ Parker. And he gives this time to Maurice Boone, who hits the middle of the line and gets back to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage. So he picks up the 3 or 4 that they lost. And it brings up 3rd down and 10. Here's your replay as you watch Boone. Good job by the middle of the defensive line for Bethel. They're playing hard. Led by, among others, number 54, Montre White. Out of the shotgun, DJ Parker on the quarterback draw. He makes a good move, but not enough yardage for a 1st down as he gets out to the 26, almost the 27. But they need the 30, so it'll bring up a 4th and 3, and they'll bring on the kicking team. Watch the replay. This was a straight run from the get-go. DJ Parker on the quarterback draw, and the Bruins played that series very well.
Yes, they did.
So the Phantoms will send out, well, it looks like Schwartz will be the punter, or is that Narvin? Narvin, 34, not 33. Gets a nice-looking punt away into the wind. Takes a Bethel bounce, and it'll be downed at the Bethel 44-yard line.
Tim Zooms has given an award to the senior football player in each one of the teams in the Hampton this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season. We'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continued support of WHCS and our student athletes. And just a reminder, WHCS Channel 46 presents your school board meetings live on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday each month at 7:30. So tune in, be informed.
29-yard punt by Narvin into the wind. And there's a pretty nice breeze. You and I were talking about this. A very warm night. Here it is, the game being videotaped for you on the 4th of October, 2002. But a very warm, sticky night. But there was a nice breeze. And just before we had a chance to talk a little bit with Bill D before your interview with him, he said he was glad to feel that breeze because it was going to be pretty tough.
But there's a young man running that ball, Manny Anderson, number 8, who the coaches like, and Jenkins, number 21, 2 linebackers that just went right to the spot, and they just dropped him actually for a loss.
Loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11. This is Bates, and Bates is Grabbed by one foot, and Manny
Manny.
Anderson said, "That's all. You're not going away. I'll wait for some help."
Remember what they said? He's got a nose for the ball, and he's a super hitter. Well, that time he didn't hit you, but he got your ankle, and you weren't going anywhere.
You'll watch the pursuit here by the Phantoms. They just really swarm to the ball, and if you don't get going right away, you're not going to go anywhere because they'll get to you before you have a chance.
Well, what has helped them so far is the defense has been so fast getting to the backfield that the runner actually has gone by them, and that is what their big runs have helped for the Bruins so far tonight.
Another 3-yard loss out of the shotgun, 3rd down and 14. Swing pass is complete, but just short yardage out of that.
McWright, Quincy.
No, that's Jeremiah Darden. You got the wrong team, Kimosabe.
No, I'm talking about who made the tackle.
I thought you were calling the guy making the catch.
I know, but I had to watch. Watch McWright right here come boom. He was upfield, but he made up a lot of ground real quick.
Well, I did it a while ago. I figured you picked the wrong team. So.
Looked like they're still going for the block.
Ball was mishandled, but a nice punt nonetheless by Pickerel. And look out. Oh, what a nice block on Pickerel. Did he stay in bounds will be the only question. Philip Brown is going to go. He ran into his own man, but he still managed to get into the end zone.
And I don't see any flags, and I don't think he stepped out of bounds. But what a nice move Philip Brown made.
78 yards.
Whoa. Is that exciting or what? Watch this, Tim. Great kick that time, but the coverage coming down. Good blocks. One right there. Now watch this move. Well, okay, I'm going to cut inside. I want to cut back. Watch out.
Yeah, ran into his own man. Actually, he fielded that ball at the 24-yard line, so we'll give him a 76-yarder. On the replay, we were able to pick that up a little bit better. If you could see the replay, it would have helped you, right, Mike?
I called that for this quarter.
Oh, you did?
Not the number of yards, but I actually
Our team of statisticians over here, Bob Killen telling us, he said he called that one. He said there was going to be a big punt return for a touch. And if we have that on the replay, we'll show it to you one more time. But the block on Pickerel, who was the punter,
yeah,
he got level. Remember that Ray Lewis block the other night on that long field goal return by the Ravens. Do we have that again, Scotty? Can we? Okay, we're going to watch it. See, takes it at the 24. See if we pick up the block on. Yeah, there it was.
Boom, right. But this move, I love this move.
Then he ran into his own man, but he still made it into the end zone. This is Andre Mattingly showing his prowess with the instant replay. Good job, guys. Right there is the block on Pickerel. Just as he got to Pickerel, Brown had a block that sprung him all the way. Nice. Look at this. Great Andre Mattingly cut back here. No, he's not the runner. He's the man working the slow-mo replay. So
good job,
Philip
guys.
Brown, coast to coast, 24-0. Taken at the 10-yard line.
Oh, he was really almost back at the 8.
Yep.
Well, that's because he's slow motion.
He moves in slow motion. He's slow to get to work, but once he gets there, he's good. That's more important than what time you get to work, right?
That's right. What is the quality of work?
That's what I always tell the boss when I'm late.
That's what you tell him.
Her. So a 52-yard kickoff and a 17-yard return. The Bruins down 24-0. Still almost 6 minutes left in the half.
It looked like Chaz.
Yep, Batchelor on the handoff. Young man was our player of the game.
Last week
Against the Hampton Crabbers. Mark it at the 29-yard line. Pick up a pair. Second down and 8 for the Bethel Bruins. You're watching the Bethel Bruins and the Phoebus Phantoms, game recorded on the 4th of October, 2002. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, Mike Hauser, and the Channel 46 crew bringing you the contest. Hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage of the best high school sports in the state of Virginia. Campbell gives to Bates, and Bates has some running room and gets grabbed from behind by the ever-present Manny, I got you by the ankles, Anderson. He stopped 2 great big long runs tonight.
Yes, he has.
By just getting a hand on the man's. Watch this. You're going to see Bates. He looks like he's got a head of steam, and Manny Anderson just got a hand on him.
Oh, man, for you people who remember last year, Manny played at Kickingham the last 2 years ago, and last year, very good player, moved in the offseason, moved into the Phoebus zone, and they welcomed him with open arms, as you can see why.
3rd down and a yard. Bruins need it badly. Had a phantom in the neutral zone, and if that's the call, it'll be a 1st down. The Bruins really could use it. As long as he wasn't pulled off, and that's the call. He was in the neutral zone, and he was not pulled off. So a 1st down for the Bruins. A cheapie, if you will.
Hey, get them while you can.
Amen.
Coach is not real happy about that. That's discipline.
Well, and again, these are the things that if you're up 24-0, don't play a significant role, but they can play a big role in a close game that may be in the offing next week when the Crabbers and the Phantoms hook up here. Campbell rolling, wants to throw, got a man wide open and just underthrows him. Robert Lewis was wide open at the 42-yard line, but he just came up short with the pass. So an incomplete pass stops the clock with 4:13 remaining in the half. We've been trying to get the referee's mic to work. We haven't been able to hear his call tonight. So the Bruins will go back to the drawing board. Their most effective offense has been throwing the ball. And that time they missed a good opportunity. Out of the gun, Campbell. Over the middle, throws to the big tight end, and he will drag tacklers very close to the 1st down. Depending on his forward progress, that is
the ball came loose.
Michael Leto, and they're going to say his forward progress wasn't stopped?
No, the ball came loose, and the Phantoms came up with it.
Well, the officials have ruled he fumbled the ball. Right here, he's still moving forward. Let's see if we can see when the ball comes loose.
Oh, there it evidently must be loose at that point. I don't know.
It's hard to tell because of the scrum. But it did look like his forward progress had stopped. But if the whistle hasn't blown, that's the determining factor. So a huge break for the Phantoms because the Bruins were starting to get some momentum going.
And that looked like Boone again. Tim, you might want to explain to the fans what a scrum is.
Well, in referring to that, you and I have talked about it before. If you are familiar with the game called rugby, and that is one of the components of that game, when the ball is loose, instead of having both teams line up on either side of the ball in a firm position, the players lock arms together, as we see Maurice Boone taken down for a loss. And they go into like a huddle. Both teams kind of huddle up. It looks like great big, it's called a scrum.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle that time by Bates.
So the Bruin defense doing what they can here. Now the special teams gave up the touchdown, so we can't blame the defense for that one. But they've been on the field a lot.
Yes, they have.
That takes a toll on you on a very warm night. DJ Parker on the play action, the option. And Parker will be short of the 1st down.
Yeah, he needed to get over to about the 39, it looks like.
Yep, he did, and he only got to they'll mark him good forward progress to the 41. So, like on that fumble, the whistles are slow to blow around here, not being critical of the
Who would you give the ball to?
Who would I give the ball to?
Yes, sir.
I'd give it to Mr. 5, Xavier Adibi, although there's some other components, but he is the man in the position to take it, and he is the man who gets it, and he does not get to the 1st down.
No, he doesn't. And I think the Bruins knew who was going to get that ball.
But you're in kind of 4-down territory here.
That was 4th down.
And you're absolutely right. It was 4th down, and it is not a first down. I was thinking it was 3rd down. I had looked away from the field for a moment and lost track of the downs. So you're absolutely right. It was 4th down territory, and it didn't get the job done.
Looking for a new car.
I'm looking for some new glasses.
Well, you might want to look for a new car, too. If you do, go down to Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard and look at their selection of all new cars or pre-owned cars at 838-5450.
So the Bruin defense gets the job done. And now we've got a stoppage of play and a timeout called by the Phantoms.
I got 4 whiteouts to the left. And Phoebus didn't, not all of them were covered.
Well, that's a good usage of a timeout.
Yes, it is.
Especially when you've just got 2:28 remaining in the first half, and you're up 24-0. The Bruins have been deep in Phoebus territory, had a 3rd down and a yard on the 4-yard line in this quarter. But unfortunately for the Bethel Bruins, they were unable to keep that drive going because they committed that mental error on 3rd and 1.
I tell you that when you're down there, you're in the red zone. You don't want to make those mental mistakes. That cost you 5 yards. Took you right out of the area because you had two downs to gain that yard.
Or a touchdown. I mean, you're at the 4-yard line. And it was
but the yard would give you another 4 down.
I'm told as not only did they not have the 4 receivers covered, they only had 10 men on the field. They still don't have all 4 covered. And they go to the far side to Chris Ellis. And Ellis has a first down.
Were they looking over here?
Sure they were. Yeah, they had 4 receivers to the near side, and Chris Ellis coming off the line of scrimmage to the top of your screen. You watch him just on a slant here, and a perfect throw by Campbell.
He's a tough guy, and it's really hard to bring him down.
He's big. I mean, Chris Ellis is just plain big. He's 6'5", 245. He's a man. Oh, that's ball thrown right to the defender. Only one man can catch it. And he may have the angle on him. He does. So he won't get into the end zone. He being 21, Jennison Jenkins.
He just stepped right in front of the intended receiver.
Robert Lewis was the man the intended pass was headed towards. And quite frankly, if he had just gone straight down the field, he might have gone all the way. There you see a good picture of Mr. Jenkins.
Well, I tell you, watch the replay.
Yep. He
stepped
just stepped
right there in front, but
I'm not sure why
Lewis is pretty fast, and he knows that.
Yeah.
So he's actually running away from Lewis, and Campbell's the one that actually gets a hand on him and runs him out of bounds.
But the Phantoms with a great opportunity with 2:04 to go in the half. DJ Parker wants to get it now. He throws incomplete. That's Brown. Philip Brown was the intended receiver at the 2-yard line, but a good job on defense to break up the pass.
It really was, but I tell you, Matt Wright, tight end, that freshman, was wide open, right in the same area.
So far, if you joined us late, the Phantoms scored on the second play from scrimmage, a 47-yard run by Lewis. Mickle, 34-yard field goal, Adebia, a 3-yard run, and then a 76-yard punt return by Brown has given the Phantoms a 24-0 lead as DJ Parker keeps and picks up yardage to about the 7-yard line.
We got an injured player down on the field. Yeah, he's slow getting up, and Charlie Davidson says, well, let's check this young man out.
One of the Bruins is slow to get up, and now he will, in fact, get up. And that is, as you watch the replay, the player that was shaken up is Thomas Turner, number 65, and he will come out for at least one play.
Yeah, he's limping a little bit.
He might be out for more than one, as he is slow to be helped off the field. There you see him in your picture. He walks like I feel tonight.
DJ picked up, what, is about 7 yards on that?
Yeah.
Does he talk like you talk?
I don't know. Second down and 3 after the pickup of 7. There you see Thomas Turner, the injured player. Hopefully he'll be all right. Adebe gets the call, and the Bruin defense is
Well, the
keying
middle of that
on him.
defense isn't giving up anything.
No, they sure aren't, and that's one of the things I'll give a lot of credit to the Bruins for. Their offense has been very inconsistent, but their defense has played really tough.
Well, White and Ellis, Leto, Robinson, Nostine, Scott and Gardner, they're, the linebackers getting up real close, and they're just plugging up the middle. We got another timeout. That's the second one for the Phantoms, I believe, for the evening.
Yeah, you saw in your picture, actually that's the third according to the scoreboard, the young lady and her escort. This is homecoming tonight for the Phantoms, and they'll be having their homecoming ceremonies at halftime. And again, we understand one of the candidates is a Channel 46 employee or a part-time employee or does work for Channel 46 in some capacity, according to Scotty. And they're saying she's going to win it. The truck is.
Well, you got.
What do you say, Scotty? I didn't say no way. Did you say no way, Bob?
No, not me.
I
said all the way.
All the way. Must be someone in the truck.
Fourth down.
1:21 on the clock.
They're not going for a field goal.
Thank you for noticing that fourth down thing again, because I missed it last time. And the fake is to Lewis, and DJ Parker is going to be down, and he'll shuffle the ball. That should be intentional grounding, and that's what he'll call. That was just a futile effort. I'm not even sure why he did that. I guess there was a player in the vicinity, number 89, for the Phantoms, but he was virtually down anyway when he shuffled the ball, and now they'll give the Bruins some yardage as a result. They'll tack on a penalty.
Because it's a loss of down.
Right. Well, it was fourth down. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you can take the penalty, and you're going to get the ball, too.
So a good fake drew most of the defenders, but not enough of them, as there was good pressure on DJ Parker, and enough pressure that he had to desperately throw the ball and got called for the intentional grounding. So Charlie Davidson's might not be working, but he's real good on the hand signals. That was an illegal pass, intentional grounding, and it was a loss of down. And that gives the Bruins the ball when they get finished marking off the penalty.
Well, I think it's a spot foul, Tim. I think it's from the point that he threw it. It's like he got tackled at that spot.
So you can't be charged with 5 downs anyway, so that loss of down thing wasn't a big issue there.
No.
31-yard line is where the Bruins will have it with 1:11 remaining. They still have 2 timeouts left. Campbell wants to throw, has some time, got good protection by Adams. Now finds Chris Ellis, his favorite receiver tonight, and Ellis has the first down across the 45-yard line.
Tell you, he is a big, big target.
Isn't that nice to have someone 6'5", 245? He stands head and shoulders amongst the rest of the receivers. Watch the replay here. You're going to see a good block by Batchelor, or Adams rather, to keep the quarterback Campbell free. And then the gang tackling.
That's Travis Richmond, number 12, that got him around the knees, and then he still had to get some help.
Back to the live action. We've got a penalty for illegal procedure against the Bruins, so that'll cost them 5. Ball marked back at the 41-yard line now. Campbell. And contact just as the ball got there, and they say, well, simultaneous. No flag. I think it's a good no call.
Yeah.
I think they both got there at the same time, they being the ball and the defender. Half a second sooner, and it would have been interference, but I think it was a good no call. So that stops the clock with 39 seconds remaining in the half. 24-0 in favor of the Phantoms, trying to keep their shutout string going. Just one team has been able to score on them of their previous 4 opponents. Swing pass to Adams, and he never had control of it.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, they said he took a couple steps.
Okay.
I'm like you. I thought he was kind of juggling it. So, but they're saying no. Well, they give him a completed pass.
Well, they're closer to the play than we are. Let's see what you think. He was juggling.
He never had the ball.
Yeah, he was juggling it the whole time. I don't think he ever had control of it. So to their detriment, they call it a completed pass because now they have to use one of their 2 timeouts. Had it been incomplete, obviously, the clock would have stopped. They didn't get any yardage on the play anyway, so it really was unfortunate that they got the completed pass.
Right, and they didn't pick up much.
No. They'd been
if
much
they
better
did
off.
anything.
Much been better off if it had been incomplete. So the clock stops with 26 seconds remaining. Homecoming ceremonies being conducted at halftime.
Well, I tell you what, I'd find somebody and say, "Your man is Chris Ellis."
You got all kinds of movement. Chris Ellis moved 2 different times, and they didn't call it. Now they do throw the flag. The side judge, line judge here is mystifying me with his calls because Ellis was set,
moved,
fake
set,
moved again, and then he finally threw the flag on the 3rd movement. And I'm not so sure the coach's staff for the Phantoms didn't prompt that flag because they finally said, "Yoo-hoo, are you seeing the same game we are?" Yeah.
But all fairness, the first time he did get set again for a second. The ball hadn't been snapped yet.
But you can't simulate a play, which is what he did. Over the middle, knocked away.
Nice defense.
Knocked away by the same Jennison Jenkins who returned that interception just moments ago. You see the replay here. The ball just a little underthrown. Allowed Jenkins to get a hand on it. 21 seconds as the half is prolonged. And it is 4th down and about 21 yards. So rather than risk giving the ball back with time on the clock, Pickrell will kick it for the Bruins. At least they'll line up to do so. And his kick is over the head of Brown. He goes back to try and field it. Does pick it up on a hop. Philip Brown looking for some running room. Breaks 1 tackle. He's got some running room. He's got 2 players.
Oh, Tim, he's going to go.
He's got Robert Lewis to beat, and Lewis can't stop him. He's in for the score.
Second time tonight. And that was a great kick.
'89-yard punt return, we're told this time. As Philip Brown is just devastating the Bruins kicking game. There you see his picture again. So they score with 1 second left on the clock. That'll just be time enough for a kickoff. The extra point try is up and good. The Bruins didn't have a full complement. Watch the replay here. Well, he really took it at the
right there. He broke 1 tackle and then just outrun those people. Great speed. Only man's got a chance is Lewis, and he didn't get a chance.
It was not 89.
It wasn't 89?
No.
What was it?
He fielded it on the 19-yard line.
Well, that's 81.
Watch it. Let's see if we can watch it one more time, because what happened was by the time he controlled it, he was at the
19, so that's an 81
19
yard.
or 14. It was the 14-yard line. He's at the.
There it is. You just missed it again.
He controlled it at the 16-yard line is where he got it. Yeah, he had it and then stepped back into the 14-yard line, and then ran it back. Mike.
Hey, Mike, doesn't lie on here.
We'll watch it one more time just so Mike believes us. How's that?
They don't believe it, guys.
Got to show him one more time. There's the 30. There's the 20. He takes the ball at the 18, 17, 16. All right. So he fielded it at 16, so it's an 84-yarder. Back to the live action. Derek Bates with just enough time to return the kickoff. So just an 84-yard return, nonetheless spectacular. Any distance you want to mark it, and you can just almost see that one starting to develop. So we have reached halftime and a very lopsided score. The Phantoms 31, the Bruins nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz back here at Darling Stadium at halftime. There you see the score on your screen, 31-0, the Phantoms. But the score and the statistics contradict themselves, because you'd think with 31 points you'd have a large amount of time of possession for the Phantoms, a lot of yardage and so forth. But you take away the 2 punt returns by Philip Brown, the score is a whole different situation. For the time of possession was 16 minutes and 2 seconds for the Bruins, only 7 minutes and 58 seconds for the Phantoms. 2-1 time of possession for the Bruins. They had 6 first downs. They rushed the ball 15 times for just 12 yards, but they did complete 10 of 17 passes with 1 interception, and they had 119 yards passing. They had return yards 6 for a total of 70 yards. They averaged 26.5 yards per punt. They fumbled once and they lost it, and they were penalized 4 times for 25 yards. On the Phoebus side of the board, they only had 7 first downs, just 1 more. They rushed 18 times for 152 yards, 1 of 3 passes, no interceptions, minus 2 yards in passing for the Phantoms. They had 162 yards on returns for 2 touchdowns. They punted the ball just once for 29 yards. They did not fumble the ball, and they were penalized 3 times for 25 yards. But, Bob, this was a very different score than you might anticipate from the statistics.
What I told them at the beginning of the game, what I told you is the Bruins wanted to control the ball and the time of possession. Well, they did that, but not to their advantage. Because the Phantoms scored, 2 plays into the game, they scored once they got the ball. Their defense has basically shut down the running attack for the Bruins, but I'm real impressed with the way Campbell is throwing the ball. 10 of 17. He's pretty accurate if you give him a chance to look his field over and get find the receiver. But Chris Ellis, big man going across the middle, and I tell you, what is he, 6'5", 280?
245.
245. I'm sure he looks like he's bigger than that coming across to those defensive backs.
Especially with that big uniform, white uniform on there, he looks like he's there. You see him in your picture, number 49. But yeah, the Phantoms didn't have the ball very long, but when you score you score a 47-yard run and 2 long punt returns, it doesn't take long.
It sure doesn't. Tim, we will pick a player of the game from both of these teams. That player receive a trophy and a shirt. Trophy comes from Trophy World, located in historic Hilton Village in Newport News. For all your recognition and award needs, trophies, plaques, and custom engraving, contact Bob Helling at Trophy World, 595-7354. Mention this announcement and get special pricing. The shirt comes from Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidering, uniforms, and apparel. Give them a call at 594-0411. Talk to either David Chubb or Terry McNamara.
Well, to the Bruins' detriment, because they did receive the opening kickoff, now they'll have to give the ball to the Phantoms, leading 31-0. Pickrell will be kicking off for the Phantoms. Manny Anderson will be the deepest man back for the Phantoms.
And that young man has really played tremendous on defense tonight. Manny Anderson saved some really long possible extra yardage that would have been picked up.
Set to kick off for the Bruins.
So the kick is in the air. It's a good long one into the wind. Manny Anderson backs up and takes it at the 2-yard line. Special teams have been very suspect for the Bruins tonight. This time Anderson gets out to the 28-yard line, where the Bruins will be on defense, and the Phantoms will try to tack on more points.
Well, I know Bill D would like to score more points, but at this point, the second half, let's get the ball and let's just take a lot of time off the clock and march the ball down the field. That would fit their needs much better. Nice shot there, return.
25 yards on the return. This is Lewis, and Lewis, who's really not carried the ball all that often, he carried twice in the first quarter, and we got a player shaken up for the Phantoms. Can't make out who it is.
It looks like it's 51, Tim. That's
Anthony Robinson.
He's the center, and he came up from the JVs last year. And I don't know who the backup center is. Maybe that's the young man coming in right now, 62, Corey Jarrett.
Looks like
That's what we just said.
Up on that play for the,
they have another
Phantoms,
71, we're told. Bob Killen, who follows the Phantoms, tells us that Jeremy Powell is actually the regular center. And
he's sitting down on the bench with no pads on, so we're not going to see him.
So apparently Robinson was filling in for 71 Powell.
Well, Tim, I don't know if Powell started the season or not, but every game we've done, Robinson has been the starting center. Bill D told me about him coming up from playing JVs last year, and they were real pleased at his progress. But if that's a knee, that could
Killen doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, I'm not saying Killen don't know what he's talking about. I'm telling you what Bill D said to me.
Started trying to be a troublemaker all of a sudden.
Boy, I tell you, you're going to have that guy over here beating on me in a minute.
Well, unfortunately, I'm between you and him. That's
well, he's going to have to get over top of you. Hey,
well,
we want to welcome.
See. Let me just mention Robinson. There you see him started to need some help coming off, but now he seems to be all right. He might have just gotten the wind knocked out, so hopefully that is the case. It's a whole lot better than a knee.
That was Jerry Gentry down there helping him.
All right, back to the action now. This is Lewis getting the call on 2nd down and 7. He picks up yardage to about the 36-yard line. They need to get to the 39 for a first down, so it'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Looks like Chetney, 73 is the center.
We got an official's stoppage of play for another player that was shaken up. This time it's a Bruin who is down, as you see in your picture. And that young man is number 22. That would be Walter Jones, who will be helped off the field. So on consecutive plays, each team having some injuries.
That is Justin Chetney, the 6'5", 250-pound senior.
Fumble, and that's what happens so often when you get a different center in there. You're just not used to the snap.
Well, and you know, in all fairness to Chetney, number 73, Tim, you know, he's probably moving, and the exchange is different than what DJ's been used to.
Oh, I'm not criticizing him. That's just inherent.
No, I know you weren't, but
inherent with that situation when you have a different center come in, whether he's an all-pro center or a high school center. It's a different situation.
He walked off. First thing he did is throw him a ball, and him and
DJ Park.
DJ are doing the exchange right now.
Narvid standing back at his 23-yard line. It's a high spiraling kick taken by Lewis on a fair catch at the 32-yard line. All for a fair catch, and then kind of looked like he might try to return it, but realized he couldn't, and no penalty forthcoming. 31-yard punt with no return. So the Bruins will have it. And hopefully, for their sake, they can eat some clock up. They did have the ball twice as long as the Phantoms, but unfortunately for the Bruins, unable to put any points on the board. Campbell under center, out of the I formation. They got a fumble, the ball loose, and is that a flag as well?
No, I think that was just a beanbag being thrown and marked where the ball went down. But Tim, the ball carrier that time was kind of chasing the ball, and nobody else saw it was loose. Watch this.
Yep.
Right here.
He fumbled it right almost from the very. Doesn't look like he ever really had it at all. But it works out as a gain as they pick up about 4. Call it second down and a long 6 or a short 7. This is Derek Bates, and Bates has a first down out to the 44-yard line.
I'm not going to criticize that defense, Tim, because they're very quick, but I think they're overrunning the play. They're getting in the backfield real quick.
Watch the replay. You might be absolutely correct.
That's the second rushing first down of the game.
So the first down at the 44-yard line. And Bates will not get back to the line of scrimmage as that play just took too long to develop.
Yeah.
And the Phantoms had it read very well.
Yeah, you're right. It was like slow motion for the handoff and
Garrett Powell, 64.
Fast speed for the rest of the defense.
Yep. Powell and others in on the stop. This lost back 3 yards to the 41-yard line, so it makes it 2nd and 13. Clock moving with 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 31-0 in favor of the Phantoms, the #1 team on the Peninsula District, and in the power ratings yet to come out. See how that happens in the near future. This is Adams, and Adams will lose a yard or 2. So the Bruins offense still sputtering.
Well, that was Quincy McWright, who was the initial tackler. He plays that defensive end on the left side.
So the loss is back to the Bruins side of the 40. So on consecutive plays, the Bruins are headed in the direction of the west, but going in the east. There you see.
Going the wrong way.
So this is a big third down now. 3rd down and 14 for the Bruins. Desperate in need of a score. Out of the gun. Swing pass to Bates, and that was a lateral. Made the grab. Looking for a block.
What a block.
Put his head down and gets drilled out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Well short of the first down. Needed to get to the Phantom 46. So that'll be an 8-yard, or it'll be short by 8 yards of the first down.
Watch the block over on the left side, Tim.
Now, you got a good block coming up.
Right here.
Yeah,
Boom.
right there. But he had too little running room to work with as he ran out of real estate and was pushed out of bounds at the 46. So Pickerel will come on to punt with it 4th down and 8. And the ever dangerous Brent.
You want to kick away from him or maybe out of
I'm thinking
bounds?
about running with the ball if I'm Pickerel.
Oh, that should
Bruins
be a flag.
have people moving all over the place. The ball is punted, and it was in the total opposite direction. In fact, it's so far away from Brown, it ended up in the stands on the far side of the field. I think Pickerel said, there's no way. If Brown can get off the field and go up into the 3rd row, he can get this.
Yeah, they mark it out at the 37, but they may make him punt it again.
Oh, yeah. I would. Yeah, they had players who were uncertain as to who was supposed to be on the field. So they had people coming in and out of the lineup as the play was going on. And they'll actually decline it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure where they lined it up because it did go out of bounds rather quickly. So it looks like they've got it to the 37-yard line.
Yeah.
So that's great field position. You don't want to run the risk of the ball being kicked better than that. Or, of course, with Brown on the field, you'd love to have another chance for him to have the ball.
But obviously, they're not going to punt it to him.
Just a 17-yard punt, but no return. So you take your victories when you get them. Out of the I formation. This is Maurice Boone, and Boone may get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. Back to the 37, so he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And the Bruin defense that's really played very well in spite of the score makes the stop. You'll see the pitch. And Boone struggling to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Bruins have their defense has great pursuit.
On the option to pitch to Boone. And Boone tries to turn the corner and nothing happening as Chris Ellis is there to grab him from behind. No gain once again. So the defense, more than doing their job, I'm sure they're going over, and a lot of these guys play two ways, so it's not a matter of the defense comes off in its entirety and they don't go back in on offense. Watch the replay. You're going to see the pitch, and look at the great pursuit by the big 6'5", 245-pound Chris Ellis.
I tell you, big guy can really move.
So it brings up 3rd and 11.
I look for Brown.
In the gun. Got DJ Parker at the gun. And he looks like he's trying to set up a screen pass, but that one was never developed. And the Phantoms will have to kick the ball again. Greg Narvid will check in. So twice in a row, the Phantoms are unable to get a sustained drive. And you know, if you're Bill D and the coaches on the Phoebus side, they just want to burn the clock up. They want to just get 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, first down, 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, first down, but they're not able to do it against this tough Bruin defense.
Well, and not only that, they don't want to be throwing incomplete passes and stopping the clock either.
No, sir. Right now, the Bruin defense is dictating the tempo of the game. Narvid just got it away.
Oh, nice kick.
Lewis fumbles the ball at the 25-yard line, and the Phantoms have it.
Phantoms have recovered Manny Anderson's ball.
And that's Manny Anderson. Oh, man's got a nose for the ball, the coach has said.
Well, if he said it once, he said it 5 times, and he's done it all night long. He's either been tackling people or recovering fumbles. Watch the replay. It was a nice kick by Narvid. Good hang time. So a fumble recovery by Manny Anderson at the Bruin 20-yard line. So the defense for Bethel back on the field again. Parker with all kinds of time throws into a crowd. Incomplete, as the intended receiver was Matt Wright, the freshman you referred to.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling. Give them a call at 825-1416 or 850-5564. Mark and Kenny, they're on call 24 hours a day. Emergency service, diagnostic test, $45.
So again, what we talked about isn't consistent because the Phantoms are trying to get some yardage, so they throw incomplete. This time Parker keeps it and gets a couple of tough yards. Any yardage on the ground in the second half against the Bruins has been very tough to come by.
Sure has. And tonight's second half also brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, conveniently located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of the facilities, stop by or give them a call at 827-4670.
3rd down and about 7. Parker again wants to pass over the middle, completes it to Brown, touchdown.
That's just a slant.
17-yard pass. Parker to Brown, watches it again. Is coming across the middle and just lost the defender. Just impossible to defend that play, really. The only way you could do that is if you got help over the middle.
Yeah.
From a
linebacker
right side,
or somebody.
But it was not forthcoming. So Jason Mickle will try to add the extra point, and it's up and good. So now the Phantoms are up 38-0. As Philip Brown has scored 3 times in the ball game. In fact, he scored the last 3 scores for the Phantoms.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't sure. Zooms has 14 convenient peninsula locations. And I tell you, you go over there, you get your Beantown coffee, fried chicken, potato wedges, Krispy Kreme donuts, ham and cheese subs, Coke, and fill up the tank with Citgo gas.
5:10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. So Phoebus, barring a miracle 4th quarter comeback, will advance to next week's big engagement with the Hampton Crabbers. Hampton playing on Saturday, we're told, against Menchville. And Hampton will hope to be undefeated as well when they both meet next Friday night here at Darling Stadium. Please make plans to come out and see that one. It should be a good one. This is Derek Bates, and Bates trying to pick up some blocking on the near side. And Bates is finally dragged down at the 38-yard line.
Hey, he's a tough guy to bring down.
He and Batchelor are really hard-running ball carriers, and Bates is shaken up, unfortunately, as he
and he's just a junior, Tim.
Watch the replay, and maybe we can see how he hurt himself at the end. I think it was just on second effort. It looks like he might have twisted a knee, and he got kind of bent backwards there.
Yeah, really did.
So let's hope that it's nothing more than a minor injury. I think, is as frustrated as he is in pain. Hopefully that's the case. I would hope he's not as in much pain as he appears to be.
Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard. Give them a call at 838-5450. Go down and see them. Get in for your new car needs or your used car needs.
We appreciate all of our corporate sponsors helping to defray the cost of bringing you our coverage here on Channel 46. And not a good, a little shaky there. Not a good sign for the Bruins to have Derek Bates down. They took his shoe off of his right foot, and they're now, it looks like they're putting it back on. I think well, we won't speculate. He is sitting up. So we've got a fair number of stoppages for injuries here in the second half. And,
well, let's just hope this isn't serious.
Now they're taking their time and getting him up, and you see now he is up and obviously limping, but is coming out under his own power, which is always a good sign. So he might have just gotten that knee rolled up on there. You see the young Derek Bates, the junior. And he is slowly making his way to the far sideline. Had a couple of players do that. We've had more injuries here in the third quarter than we've had in the first 3 games of the season.
You're right. And these guys are getting stronger and are hitting a little harder. But
you keep
when you keep trying to get that little extra yardage, that sometimes you get your knee turned a little bit.
16 yards on the return by Bates. And we've got Phantoms in the neutral zone. So besides the fumbles, the penalties, and the injuries, we might be here for a while, Bob. Hope you don't have any place you're headed other than maybe Zooms after the game.
I'm fine. I'm going down to Zooms. Get me some of that. I think I'm going to get me some fried chicken. I love the chicken.
So the 5-yard penalty is marked off, and it's 1st and 5 for the Bruins. This is Chaz Batchelor picking up a couple. 33 going off the left side. Now the Bruins will go without a huddle. And this does seem to catch the Phantoms a bit by surprise, but they do line up on defense. I formation, double wides to the top of your screen. And we've got a fumble on the snap. Looks like someone might have been in the neutral zone early. No penalty flags.
Well, Tim, I think the center snapped the ball before Campbell was ready.
Now we get a penalty flag because someone either in disgust or whatever threw the ball down. And
oh, that's a delay of game.
Yeah.
See, I don't think Campbell was quite ready.
Okay, I'm just making
sure. So it will be a penalty for delay of game, which is the theme here so far in the third quarter. Is this? We've played 8 minutes, but it seems like it's been 80.
Oh, whoa. From the point of the foul, I guess. Because the ball was on the 45. That ends up being about an 8-yard penalty.
I think they actually, it was a loss on the play, so I think it was a spot foul, I guess.
Okay.
37-yard line is where they mark
You got
it.
a thumbs up on that. I don't know how many thumbs up you've had in your life, but you got one that time.
It's always good to have a thumb up.
Yeah, always.
3rd and 10 for the Bruins. Campbell with a straight running play from the shotgun, and Phantoms were not fooled for a moment. Might have gotten a half a yard.
8 Phantoms around that ball carrier.
So that'll bring on the punting situation for the Bruins, and they'll bring out Pickerel. He's had a lot of punts tonight.
And it'll also bring out Philip Brown, who you will bet that they're going to kick the ball towards.
Adam Pickerel standing back at his 25-yard line. Brown standing at his 25, and now we have flags again.
And I think it was that time was illegal procedure on the Bruins. I think there was one of the offensive linemen moved.
And quite frankly, the Bruins are in real disarray right now. Five penalties, 45 yards marked off against the Bruins, but they've been real backbreakers when they've occurred too. They had a 3rd and 1 at the 4-yard line in the second quarter, only to have a penalty and take them out of first down territory, and they eventually missed a field goal. So Pickerel will get the snap, he'll get the kick away. It's relatively short. They'd rather have it short and out of bounds, which it is on both counts. But let's see where they mark it out. It's going to be out inside the 45 at the 42. So a 9-yard punt. You might as well go for it if you're going to kick it out of bounds that quickly. I know Brown has been, really hurting them, but they're not even getting close to, he's in the center of the field. At least make an attempt. That unfortunately, that shows, like, to me, it's almost a sign of saying we give up.
Well,
our special teams can't do it.
We're giving up the field position.
Right. We're just going to kick it away from you at any cost. Got double wides to the near side, and one of those wide receivers makes the grab with a penalty flag down. That is Dustin Johnson who made the catch.
Well, Tim, they only had one defender out there with those 2 wideouts. I don't know where the penalty come from.
Well, it was behind the play. It was right where the double wides were. Now, I don't know whether one of them moved prematurely or covered up. I won't even speculate. Offensive pass interference. So he must have picked the one defender that was there. So I would assume that the man who didn't catch the ball
was doing
pushed off.
Yeah.
Here's the replay. We'll see if we can pick it up. It was after the play had started to develop, so I'm not sure.
Loss of down on that, too.
So this one-sided game has just gotten real ugly here in the last few minutes with penalty after penalty. Yeah.
He looked like he just turned and got in his way.
Yeah, I didn't really see much of a penalty, but the official right on top of it. This is Lewis. Elan Lewis picks up a couple. So picks up 2. Third down and 22 to go.
Bill D was looking for a player, and he wasn't where he wanted to, so he called timeout.
And there's a good shot of the guys in the truck. You've heard that expression over the years. You've heard ABC talk about the men in the truck, the men and women in the truck. These are the guys in the truck.
Yeah, the 2 back ones were Mike Nowinski and Andy Foley, and up front, Scotty Bowers, Don Chiraus, Andre Mattingly on the right. He was the short one.
They're all sitting down. How can you tell?
He's shorter than the other 2. You look at him. He's sitting short. I think they put his – see, he is short up there on the right-hand side. Strauss on the left, and that's Scotty Bowers straight ahead. Scotty said, listen, I can't look around and wave. I'm too busy.
That's right. I'm the man. So the I hate to be this, but the third quarter continues to rapidly move along.
Rapidly?
Like a
turtle.
A tortoise. Be happy to see a play without a penalty.
I tell you, Chris Ellis just got in there. Nobody blocked him, it didn't look like, and he was just DJ didn't have a chance to do anything.
I'm telling you one thing. You can fault some of the members of the Bruin team on certain parts of the team, but the defense has really played well, and that's with 38 points on the board. I mean, it's hard to say that, but it's true. They've really played well, especially in the second half. This is the third or fourth time that Narvin has had to punt in the third quarter.
Well, the last punt turned out to be pretty good.
Yep. But they got a break on the fumble. Lewis probably will not field this ball, and that's a good call on his part.
Back at familiar territory on the 21.
Well, this was
first three possessions.
This is the 26th. But
oh well, I'm sorry. I've lost 5 yards. I'm sorry. Gee, they just can't get field position.
31-yard punt and no return. A minute 35 remaining in the third quarter. That's right, folks, the third quarter. Only seems like it's the fourth quarter. Out of the shotgun, Campbell. Has all day to throw, can't find anybody. Gets a good block by his big lineman and then throws into a crowd, and it's a incomplete pass. And that was Robert Lewis, who was the intended receiver, and he drew a crowd.
I tell you, the Bruins were converging on that pass, and I think we have Jenkins is shook up a little bit.
And, you know, if you're Bill D, there's a lot of things you want to have happen here in the next 13 minutes and 4 seconds. And injured players isn't one of those things. You want the clock to move. You want the game to get over with so you don't have any injuries in a game that's already decided. And you got the two Phantoms down. It's not enough you got one, but you got two of them down. Jenkins is one of them.
And I don't know if the other one looks like.
Well, it looks like it's number 3, Bellamy, but I'm not certain of that. This is about the fifth stoppage.
Fifth, I think, yeah.
Stoppage in the third quarter for injured players. Bruins have had a couple. The Phantoms have had 3 players hurt that we remember. Now that it was 51. Robinson was shaken up earlier. And now you've got Bellamy, as you can see.
Now watch how many people coming in. 1, 2, boom. They hit each other, I think.
Yeah, and then player went head over heels. So yeah, that happens a lot too. You'll get hurt by your own player in an effort to make a play. Jenkins is sitting up. There you see a young man we were told was also shaken. That's
it's number 3, Tim. Yeah. No, that's Phillip Brown, isn't it? Is that 3 or 2? No, it's 3.
So finally, Jenkins and Bellamy are both able to slowly get off the field again. It's the theme of the third quarter. Slowly removing injured players. And so the Bruins now. All right, so we had some technical difficulties, but we're happy to report you did not miss any action. There was a couple of plays run, and the third quarter has come to an end. We had some technical problems, lost power here at Darling Stadium just momentarily. Ran a couple of plays. Chaz Batchelor ran for no gain.
But he actually caught a pass prior to that to pick up a first down, didn't he?
Well, I'm not sure. I think the fans saw that. I'm not sure.
Well, let's assume they didn't.
All right. In any event, the quarter has come to a conclusion, and our score after 3 is Phoebus 38 and Bethel nothing. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz coming to you from Darling Stadium as the Phoebus Phantoms will move to 5-0.
Rodney Campbell. I was talking about his dad. LaShawn Campbell, 12 of 21 for 159 yards and one INT.
But if you're the Phantoms, you have one real goal for the next 12 minutes, and that's to make sure nobody
keep everybody healthy.
You have more than one goal.
But that's the number one thing.
The
Keep
team's
everybody
goal right
healthy.
now is to not let anyone score who wears a white, gold, and green uniform. It is second down, and let's see, they finally got the yard markers set over there. Second
it looks
down
like about 12.
Unlike the baker's dozen of the Krispy Kreme donuts I get at Zooms.
That's correct.
Campbell with a lot of time, throws into a crowd, completes the pass. Still moving. And that is Khalil Sharif.
He almost threw that sidearm, but I tell you, he put it right on the money, picked the open receiver.
So
impressed with the way he's throwing the ball tonight.
That'll move the chains, and they mark it at the Phantom 44-yard line. Campbell from the shotgun. Over the middle, just tipped away. That was intended for number 84.
Leto.
That is, actually I pronounced it, I listened to him, it's Leto.
Leto.
Leto. I wrote it phonetically so I wouldn't mispronounce it again.
Well, that was that number 12? That was Travis Richmond got a hand in it, right?
Yep. So Leto was the intended receiver and a good defensive play to break up the pass. Second down and 10. Campbell slings it downfield, long, incomplete.
Boy, was he hit as he let go.
He's been taking a couple of hits.
And then he helps the guy up that hit him. He helped him up.
Well, Campbell's no little guy. He's 6'1", 175. He looks bigger than that to me.
Well, that was Quincy McWright that lowered the boom on him as he was throwing the ball. He watched this, and then he turned around and helped Quincy up. But just as he threw it, boom, he got leveled. Great concentration. Sean Campbell.
Third down and 10. And this one way, way over the head of Robert Lewis. Stopping the clock yet again. With 11:10 left in the ball game.
And does that bring up a fourth? Yeah,
Yes,
fourth down.
4th and 10. So is the point? Have you reached the point where they're going to go for it?
Yeah, you can't kick it. If you're going to kick it, you got to kick it into the end zone. And at this point, I don't think they can get it into the end zone.
That's right. Or as Bob just told me, a 62-yard field goal attempt. So with 4th and 10, they are going to go for it, at least line up to do so. And they do snap the ball. Campbell harassed, running, has some room down the near sideline, looking for a block from Lewis. Got the block, and it gets knocked out of bounds. But if they...
Oh, he got it way down.
The first down.
Kind of about the 26.
Yeah. So LaShawn Campbell gets the first down on a very nice play to get to the outside and pick up the first.
Well, he showed some real good speed once he turned his shoulders upfield.
So with 4th and 10, they get a big play from Campbell and keep the ball. Lewis makes the grab, and then he is wrestled out of bounds for a loss on the play.
That's 28, Brandon Seminaro.
So they move him back 2. Clock stops.
He went out of bounds.
Yes, he did. Bruins have rushed the ball 24 times for 36 net yards. Campbell wants to throw, and he'll never get a chance.
That was 38.
That's Lewis.
Lewis.
Lewis, along with Xavier Adibi.
I can not only run the ball, I can also throw him for a loss.
This is a jailbreak from the ground level, just out of your picture. You got some people on the sideline who dared to get in front of our shot.
Hey, well, those are the coaches. They dare whatever they want to do.
41-yard line is where they mark it after the big loss. 3rd and 27. Campbell again scrambling, and he is tripped up. Ball goes
Adibi.
loose. Xavier Adibi, as the ball was fumbled, but
well, that's a sack, because that's lost yardage.
2 yards lost on the play. Adibi was prolific at sacking last year.
He's probably getting a whole lot more attention this year.
Yeah. Bruins losing yardage on their net rushes after each of these different plays. This is 4th and long, 4th and 23. Campbell has some time, got a flag down, thrown in the crowd.
Oh, and it was caught
by the Bruins, but the penalty flag will be a big factor. It's right at the first down yard. No, you know what? It's going to be short of a first down. I'm sorry, it's 5 yards further down. It's enough for a first down.
Watch it. I think it's number 26 that catches.
Yeah, it'll be a first down if the penalty is against. It is. It's against the Phantoms.
Well, that was 26, Tim, that caught that ball. Radcliffe. 6'3", 185. He just went up and took the ball away from the defender.
So 28 yards roughly on the play. It was 4th and 23. You don't usually have a 4th and 23 play in your arsenal, but this one was there as they keep the drive alive, and the Phantoms now looking at the Bruins deep in their territory. First down at the 13-yard line. Bruins have been down all the way to the 4-yard line before and yet could not score.
That was Adams, and he was going except for number 5.
Well, that's a big except for.
Davey took him right at the ankles, lost a yard.
Clock moving with 8:16 remaining. And as I say that, now the officials stop the clock. Now they'll restart it. I'm not sure what that was about, some kind of equipment situation. 2nd down and 11.
Oh!
And Adams tripped up by Adibi.
Guess who?
And another flag down, or is that just a flag that never got picked up at the 31-yard line?
I don't know if that's a flag or what it is, but Debe knew what that play was going to be.
That's referee's penalty flag he never picked up from the 30. Good, that's one penalty he can't throw.
It's one flag he can't throw.
Right. Here's the play, Adibi right there.
He just beat his blocker, Tim.
He just went right to the ball. 3rd down and 19. This is Bates. And Bates will be stopped at the 20-yard line, shy of the first down by about 9 yards.
Quest King making sure he wasn't going anywhere.
There you see the scoreboard, 38-0, and we are under 7 minutes remaining.
Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, conveniently located in the Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue as you watch replay. Manager is Nancy Staten. Stallion Brothers, Heating and Cooling, Mark and Kenny, give them a call. They're on call 24 hours a day. Free estimates on new installations, 825-1416 and 850-5564.
4th down and 18 for the Bruins. Fumble, but Campbell picks it up, swings a one-hopper to Bates, incomplete. So now the statistics up to the moment have the Bruins with 15 of 28 for 208 yards with 1 interception. And they've rushed the ball 29 times for 18 yards. Some kind of problem in the stands over to our left. I'm not sure whether it's...
Oh, they're throwing some things in the stand. I don't know. You know, it's like, throw it to me, whatever it is.
Well, the Phantoms get the ball and now call a timeout.
Okay, well, Zooms is giving an award to the senior player in each one of the teams this year in the Hampton school system who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continuing support of WHCS and our student athletes. And of course, we don't want to forget our new welcome back again corporate sponsor in the Hampton Chevrolet, located at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard. Give them a call, 838-5450. Go on down, pick up a new car. Good place to go. Good people.
So the Phantoms have just one timeout remaining. That's not an issue with them. I'm assuming after the change of possession, there's just some confusion as to who is supposed to be on the field. As you look into the huddle and from the back of Bill D.
Well, a lot of new people in there, Tim.
Yeah, Phantoms dodge another ball. The backfield is intact. That's Lewis, Maurice, and
Boone.
DJ Parker.
It looked like Boone with the carry.
So again, if you're Bill D, and quite frankly, at this point, if you're Tracy Parker, you'd just like to get home without anyone getting hurt any further. Number of players shaken up.
Are we picking up the official?
No, we're picking up Andy, and Bob is on the headset. Yes.
Well, Andy, you're coming across on our sound.
DJ Parker throws it away, just in a late flag.
Not a flag.
Oh, yeah. Well, the ball was thrown out of bounds, but stops the clock.
Well, I think what happened, we may have had ineligible downfield.
Yeah. Apparently the penalty is against the Phantoms. Checking with Chris Ellis. An eligible receiver downfield, and that will be accepted apparently. They mark it at the 16-yard line.
That must not be a flag down there because they keep walking by it.
Yeah, they don't like it. It's a yellow piece of something.
Phantom ball, 2nd and 14 on the 16-yard line.
Boone on the sweep side, and he is tripped up by number 21 of the Bruins, Jamar Jackson. Marked the ball at the 28-yard line.
Shows some nice speed there getting outside.
A marked him all the way to the 29-yard line. A very generous spot as you watch the replay.
That's
there
where
he slid from the 26.
Dizzy Dean said he slid to the 29.
Yeah. You know, unfortunately, that comment is lost on about 90% of our listeners.
Yeah,
Dizzy who?
Dizzy Dean. Is he on Scooby-Doo? Or?
It's Ozzy Osbourne's brother, Dizzy. It's not a penalty flag. That's right, it was. Mark it at the 33-yard line. First down for the Phantoms. Into the middle of the line goes Lewis. He picks up a couple. Clock continues to move. No penalty flag. Things are good, Bob. We have to talk about our players of the game.
Oh, we got a lot of people on the Phantoms that we're looking at. Lewis, Adibi, DJ. Manny Anderson's had a great defensive game. Philip Brown. What can you say? Catches a pass, runs 2 touchdowns back. Boone.
And we do have a new quarterback on the field now, Chris Arnold.
Just a junior. Getting some reps, so that's always good to see. On the Bethel side, you got Campbell and Bates and Ellis and Lato and Batchelor. You can go on and on. They've got some guys who've done a good job on defense. Also, Robinson, Nostein, Scott Garner, Jackson, Fred Hill, Everett, just to name a few.
Third down and 6, and the ball carrier out close to the 40, which will bring up a 4th down now. 4th down and about 3 as they need to get to the 43-yard line. So I'm not sure we'll see the kicking team, but
yeah,
doesn't look like it. Yeah, there he is. Okay, I didn't see Narvin out there at first. They don't look like they've got enough players on the field. The Phantoms look like they're one short. Yeah. Now some people are doing some counting and they're saying, guys, coaches, we need someone out here. And now they'll get a player on late. And if they get a delay of game penalty, so what? They're up 38-0. They do, in fact, get an 11th player on the field. Narvid will get it away cleanly. It's a nice high kick. Takes a good phantom roll and immediately taken down.
And Manny Anderson, who would you guess? He got a nose for the ball or what?
Jamar Jackson. I tell you what, it's a shame, quite frankly, if I had to pick a phantom player of the game, I'm hard-pressed because there's 2 that just won't go away from the considerations. 44-yard, 42-yard punt. Sounds like first word. No return. All right, players of the game, Bob.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to go with LaShawn Campbell for the Bruins.
That's a good choice. He's played a real good game, quarterback. Tough call here. The tougher of the 2 calls is the phantom player of the game. And now we have a flag on the field.
Well, if we could do defense and offense, it'd be a hands down, but we can't.
Well, what do you think? They're going to pick the flag up.
Well, I'd like that.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a football player by the toe. Which is it? Is this the man?
Yep.
All right.
Let's go with that.
Philip Brown is our player of the game for the Phantoms.
A new quarterback for the Bruins, number 10. Yeah. Woodley?
Jarice Woodley.
And he's just a junior. Lefty.
Yep. So Philip Brown with 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on punt returns, and the other a 17-yard touchdown pass catch, is our Phoebus player of the game. But I got to tell you, my heart was out there for Manny Anderson, too. He's just been so dominant on defense tonight. And LaShawn Campbell is our...
Well, I tell you, DB hadn't played bad on defense either.
No, well, I mean, It's never easy when you've got the outstanding play. Now we've got a fumble, and it looks like the Phantoms may have recovered it. They say they have, but yet no official indication. And now they say no. Now they say the Bruins have kept possession. There's the ball coming loose and the scramble for it. The officials right on top of the play ruled that the Bruins kept possession. But strangely enough, the clock stopped. I didn't see them go out of bounds. Now that restarted.
Yeah, I think it's just to get everybody organized.
3rd down and about 13. Not much happening as Jeremiah Darden gets the call, number 25. So it'll bring up 4th down and about 11. So they'll really.
They got a kick now, but you notice Brown is not in.
No. In fact, there's no one back to receive the punt. Pickerel will be standing at his 5-yard line when he feels the snap. And the Bruins get a man on late. And a wobbly kick takes a Bruin bounce. Out close to midfield. It'll be touched dead there at the 48-yard line of the Bruins with just 1:09 left in the ball game. We're going to wrap this up momentarily. Again, we remind you, next Friday night, today's the 4th, the 11th of October.
The 11th of October.
We will be back here. Get your tickets early for the annual Phoebus Hampton battle. And after beating Hampton twice last year, the Phantoms will be trying to do something very few teams ever get a chance to do, and that's beat Hampton 3 times in a row. And you know Hampton wants to make sure that doesn't happen. So you talk about an intense game. That'll be one next Friday night. We'll be here. You be here. Please come on out. $4 a head.
Guess who ran that ball?
Manny Anderson.
He plays everything. He can do it all.
The Bruins kept giving back yardage that they'd had. At one point they had about 40 or 50 yards, and they've given up. They kept giving up yardage on losses, and they ended up with just 15 positive yards on the ground, did the Bruins. They were much more successful passing. And that will be, with any luck at all, the final play of the ball game.
And that's it. Players of the game.
All right.
Philip Brown.
We've advised
John Campbell.
The guys in the truck. Philip Brown is your player of the game for the Phoebus Phantoms. And LaShawn Campbell gets the honor for the Bethel Bruins.
Another shutout for the Phantom defense.
Phantoms, 3 out of their 4 contests, they have not allowed a score. So we want to thank our sponsors for tonight's contest. Game brought to you by Zooms, your friendly neighborhood store with 14 locations. Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard. Brought to you in part by Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling. And also brought to you in part
drive home very carefully and enjoy your weekend.
By Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, 827-4670. So that's going to do it for us. This is Tim Cole for Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and Mike Hauser. The final score, Phoebus 38 and Bethel nothing. Good night, everybody.